Hi guys, and welcome to another batch of your replays. Today's theme is German tank destroyers, and we are kicking off with a game from goBerzerk here on Prokhorovka in a JagdTiger 88, a tank I own, and to be honest, really am not enjoying too much, but it's a tank that I find is quite situational. I really enjoy the JagdTiger at tier 9 for the Germans, and when I got the JagdTiger 88 I was expecting it to be maybe a little bit better. Maybe my expectations were a little bit high. It's a good tank. I do think the JagdTiger 88 is a good tank. It's a very good crew trainer. It's a very good money maker. The downside to this tank for me was the fact that it was far less maneuverable than I thought it would be, and it is a lot more situational. So if you can get to a map that has a choke point and you can hold a choke point in this tank, it's very good. But because it is quite unmaneuverable, enemy tanks can get to your side and rear very easily. The gun is actually pretty good, but you need to pick and choose your targets. Basically, it's a tier 9 tank stock configuration, but tier 9 armor with a tier 7 gun. It's got the same gun as the Tiger 1, 88mm with 203 millimeters of penetration, 240 alpha damage, which is actually pretty good when you consider a lot of premium tanks only have 175 millimeters of penetration or less. 203 is quite good, but it does mean that you tend to fail to pen targets at distance. But I think the tank needs to be played a lot more passively than I was expecting. You can see he was able to get a shot into the roof of the T-34 there for his first damage of the game. But this is a tank that's very susceptible to RT and to fast scouts. And you really need to play it a little bit more like a traditional TD than I like playing my TDs. I like playing my TDs aggressively and using them as heavy tanks. But I think the JagdTiger 88, even though you can do that, it's a little bit map dependent. So he is a tier 8 in a tier 9 game. Only 3 tier 9s on the enemy team though. And the game does start off quite slow. He's going for very difficult shots on hull down American tanks, trying to hit the commander's cupolas from distance. He's switched to some premium ammo after bouncing some shots. But he's taking up a position you see a lot of tanks take up. Right back here on the railway lines, allowing him to get shots into the middle and shots up onto the hill. But maybe I'm being a little bit unfair to the JagdTiger 88, because I do have to admit I use it as a crew trainer, and I don't think I've ever put a good crew in it. I think the crew I currently have in the JagdTiger 88 are a new Nashorn crew I'm training up. So I've never played this tank with a 100% crew. So maybe I'm being a little bit unfair to it in retrospect. Oh, just misses. It was a nicely timed shot, but it just flies over the top of the 1390. So not a lot of damage done here, but the 1390 is sitting in stationary. He gets another shot in. You see the rate of fire is very good on this tank. 4.6 second reload for goBerzerk. But this is the frustrating thing. He's just trying to find targets. And a lot of his team are sitting down in the J2 area. But he does have the side of the turret of the T-29, takes him out for kill number 1, And as I say, it's a 44%er. Goes for a blind shot in the T-21. So his team are being quite passive. They have pushed the hill, but the other flank has been very, very passive. And goBerzerk decides, right, enough is enough. The tanks in the middle that were spotted around E6 are all dead, so now it is time to advance. Now it is time to get closer to the front line. But RT loves JagdTiger 88s. So big open maps like this, I tend to get singled out when I'm in a JagdTiger 88. And to be honest, when I'm in RT and I see a JagdTiger 88, I'll usually try and hit it as well. Because it is quite slow, because it's quite maneuverable, it's an easy target to hit, and it's very flat on top. So HE tends to penetrate and do full damage. But he's advanced up, he's looking for shots, just doesn't have the gun arc. Now one thing the JagdTiger 88 does have is 8 degrees of gun depression. Now, there is a rumor I've read that Wargaming are thinking of removing the 8 degrees of gun depression and replacing it with 4 degrees. I don't know whether or not that's historically accurate, but you can see this gun depression is in use here. He's on one side of the railway tracks, he's able to get the gun depression to shoot under the train cars. And he is going to work on this tortoise, and you can see that the rate of fire is very, very good. So it does have a very, very punchy gun, and its armor is very, very good if you can get it hull down. But its lack of maneuverability is one of the reasons I think I'm struggling a little bit in the JagdTiger 88. But I can't deny it's a very, very good crew trainer, and it's a very, very good moneymaker. And you could do a heck of a lot worse when it comes to Tier 8 premium tanks. So it's still a 50-50 game. It's a 7-6. And it seems as if most of the enemy team are also hiding in the corner of the map around B2. And goBerzerk is using his tank, he is using his gun, or the slopes, he is using his gun depression. Seeing whether or not he can get shots on the Löwe, and decides to blow away the house and actually manages to hit the Löwe. And we get to see this rate of fire in action again. The DPM on this tank is very, very good. Not much to shoot on this SU-152, and he does manage to hit and pen. He has been spotted, an enemy RT still in play. He's using Camonet and a Binox. Spots the SU-152 again. Looks as if the SU-152 may be AFK, but he's able to use his gun depression, get another shot in. And this is where the JagdTiger 88 really, really excels. When you get it behind a slope, you get to use its gun depression and hide its lower glacis and put its gun to use with its great DPM. Then this tank can really, really shine. So VK and IS-3 continue to advance up the 2 line, and unfortunately you can see that the gun arc is quite small on this tank, causes him to miss a shot in the IS-3. But he ends up ammo racking the IS-3. Only 145 damage done, but it was an ammo rack, and he's able to go to work on the side of this VK. Okay, someone else takes out the VK. So all of a sudden, this 44%er has been turned around. goBerzerk is up to 2.7k damage, 2 kills. And he's continuing to advance. So there's an E50 moving in along the A line. And finally his team are starting to move. Okay, RT has been spotted. And you can see the aim time is okay. Rate of fire is fantastic. And goBerzerk is able to secure that kill for kill number 3. Enemy Jagdpanther has been spotted to the left. Very, very low health. Don't know if goBerzerk's going to be able to get a shot in. He's got an orange reticule. Goes for a blind shot. Takes him out for kill number 4. And just one very, very dangerous German TD left on the enemy team. So goBerzerk is advancing in on the Waffenträger. Now the Waffenträger did take out the E50 that was advancing along the A line. But goBerzerk does have 1300 hit points. It means he can take 3 hits from the Waffenträger. And he's got a Tiger P and a T-34-1 backing him up. But I think this is a pretty good showcase of this tank. It is a very, very good tank if you get it into a situation where you can hide its lower glacis, use its armor, and use its gun depression and DPM. So his team are moving in. And the Waffenträger was able to take out the T-34-1 without getting spotted. Some major, major camo rating. And now he's taken out the Tiger P without being spotted. Incredible camo rating. So goBerzerk is continuing to advance. The IS-3 on his team is not being very helpful. Now he does have the DPM. Oh, okay, I was going to say it depends on who gets the first hit in. The Waffenträger ammo racks him, hits an ammo racks him, but still has not been spotted. Incredible camo rating. Waffenträger bounces, finally gets spotted. Really, really good camo rating on the Waffenträger. But the rate of fire meant that goBerzerk was able to take him out. If the Waffenträger hadn't bounced his second shot, unfortunately goBerzerk would have died, but that didn't happen. His armor held up and he secured the game with 5 kills and 4k damage. So that was an ace tanker for goBerzerk in the JagdTiger 88. He also picked up high caliber and Confederate. He finished top on XP with 1404. Nice XP total, 4,192 damage. So at least one of his blind shots did go in. He finished up with 5 kills. He fired 37, hit 25, penned 20. Now most of those shots were at distance and the penetration does drop off. And quite a few of those shots were at fast moving targets. But still a really, really solid performance. You could see how much DPM this gun can put out. He received 3 hits at the end of the game, managed to bounce one that saved his life and allowed him to take out the Waffenträger. He spotted 1, damaged 11, destroyed 5 and did 1941 assistance damage. He wasn't playing with a premium account, but even so still made almost 65,000 credits for that game. With a premium account it would have been over 100k credits. So the JagdTiger 88 is a very good crew trainer and it's a very good money maker. It's a little bit situational for my liking, but it is a very, very solid tank. 1404 XP on a ×2 and some sort of bonus thrown in left goBerzerk on a very, very healthy 3,159. So some very, very solid JagdTiger 88 gameplay, and I really, really should put a good crew into this tank to see what it can do. Moving on to another German TD, we are with Coremaster 101 in his Sturer Emil, or Sturer Emil. I have no idea how to pronounce this tank, so if you guys could correct me in chat, I would appreciate it and just tell me how to pronounce the name of this tank correctly. He has got the final gun, and this is a tank that he plays very, very well. A lot of players struggle with this tank because it doesn't have fantastic camo rating. It has a very, very big punchy gun with a 231mm of penetration, 490 alpha damage, but it only carries 15 shells. It's open topped, doesn't have a great camo rating. Terrible gun elevation as you can see, but its gun depression is fantastic. It's basically a big Dicker Max with very, very little armor. We are here on Swamp. It's a 58%er, tier 8 game, so Coremaster is a tier 7 in a tier 8 game. And he's moving into a position where he can use his gun depression. Wow, enemy ELC is being really aggressive. Coremaster is pre-aiming. decides not to risk a shot. And finally waits for the ELC to get stuck on the hill, takes him out for kill number 1. It does get him spotted, and there is enemy RT in play. But one hit, one shot, one kill. So goBerzerk being a little bit passive here. He really doesn't want enemy RT to focus him down. And he's waiting for the enemy team to advance. And wow, pre-aims that shot really well. Gets a lovely shot into the T-23E3 as he advances. Was waiting for the enemy tanks to advance, set up his ambush, got the shot in. Goes for a blind shot, and that's something you really can't do in this tank. You don't have the ammunition capacity, you can't really spam shots, and it doesn't look as if that shot went in. But he is staying hull down, he's using his gun depression, he's waiting for targets of opportunity. Oh, and somehow manages to bounce on the rear of the turret on the T-23E3. Really unfortunate shot. Someone else takes him out, but he has been spotted again. It's a little bit of lag in the replay. But he's deciding to advance. Super Pershing is now advanced as well. Just 2 tanks left on this side of the map. And again, he's using the terrain to his advantage. He's basically going to try and stay as hull down as possible. Use his gun depression. Pokes up, spots the Hellcat, goes for a snapshot, takes him out for kill number 2. And he's on 1100 damage. In the meantime, the enemy team have been very aggressive on the south of the map. But there are still plenty of tanks there holding them back, so that means goBerzerk can continue to work. Enemy RT was spotted and taken out. That's usually a good omen when you're in an open top vehicle and you see enemy RT taken out. So goBerzerk's waiting for shots. He's got the side of an ISU-152, takes him out. Rolls high, rolls really high. 523 damage. 490 alpha, big kill. So he's on 3 kills. IS-3 is on the ridge ahead of him. He's advancing. Goes for a snapshot and unfortunately does 0 damage. Only tracks the IS-3 for 0 damage. And you really don't have that much ammunition, so those shots really hurt you in this tank far more than they would in other tanks. He has the side of an SU-152 and another big high roll, 533. But he's using his gun depression, he's using this ridge, he's popping up, taking shots, goes for a snapshot in the JagdTiger, takes him out for kill number 4, 2.6k damage. And his team are winning quite comfortably. The score is 11-8. And all of a sudden, things are not looking quite so comfortable. T-32 takes out the Churchill 7. So we know that there are 3 enemy heavies, Tier 8 heavies, on the 8-9 lines. And there's still a Super Pershing behind him. But the Hellcat takes him out. So 3 enemy tanks remaining. They were all spotted on the 8-9 lines. And goBerzerk is just setting up here. He's using the ridges, he's using his gun depression, has the rear of the IS-3, does damage this time, Track shot with damage. And he's reloading, looking for shots on the T-32, decides to go for the IS-3, finishes him off for kill number 5. 3.4k damage. And the T-32 and KV-4 are still advancing up the 8 line. So Coremaster still looking for shots. Back to where the T-32 was last spotted. Waiting for the Hellcat to spot the T-32, but the T-32 has advanced. So the KV-4 and T-32 are now safe from Coremaster. Coremaster needs these tanks to advance. Again, he's using this gun depression, using the slope. He's setting up an ambush. He's waiting for the enemy tanks to continue advancing. And he's down to 4 shots. He's only got 4 shots left. This tank really doesn't have a lot of ammunition. You need to make every shot count. And he needs his friendlies to spot. Thankfully, the Leva moves forward, spots the T-32, and Coremaster unfortunately bounces on the side of the turret. Only 3 shots left. Goes for a shot and rolls low. For once he rolls low. 490 alpha damage on this tank, and he only gets 384 damage. Mercy roll on the T-32. It means that Coremaster is on almost 4k damage, but he's only got 2 shots left, and this KV-4 is a lot of health. So gets another nice shot in. Again, a very low roll. 417 for 490 alpha damage. Which means that the KV-4 is not a one-hit kill. He goes for one final shot, 452 damage, leaves the KV-4 on 233 health, and he is out of ammo. And this really is why you cannot afford to spam shots or even take blind shots unless you absolutely know they're going to hit. But thankfully his team finish off the KV-4 and secure the victory. So some textbook Sturer Emil gameplay there, using its gun depression, using the terrain to its advantage, and you putting that big derpy gun into action. He picked up an ace tanker for that game. He also picked up high caliber and sniper. He finished top on XP with 1570, 4,700 damage, and 5 kills. He fired all 15 shots, managed to hit 14, but only penned 12. Some really unfortunate bounces and track shots for no damage. He spotted 1, damaged 9, destroyed 5, did 590 assistance damage, and wasn't playing with a premium account, but still finished up with 27,000 credits. 1570 base XP on a ×3 event, I'm happy to see, and some sort of bonus thrown in, left him on a very healthy 5,102 XP. So a couple of really nice replays in German TDs, showing that they need to go hull down, using terrain features and using gun depression in both replays. I want to thank goBerzerk and Coremaster for sending those in. I hope you guys enjoyed watching them, and I'll see you next time.